Hey guys, what's up? I'm a big Red Sox fan, huge Red Sox fan. Can't stand the Yankees. Thought I'd throw that out there first. Well, the 2008 baseball season is coming to an end, and playoffs are about to start. Got another month or so, and I just wanted to, voice my opinion on how I think it'll come out. Okay, let's start in the American League, go division to division. The American League East, I don't think it's any surprise that the Yankees pitching has caused them to choke, and they're probably going to miss the postseason for the first time in a very long time. But I gotta think the biggest story of the year, no doubt, or the biggest story in a long, long time, is that the Tampa Bay Rays, formerly the Devil Rays, are on pace to, they've already set a franchise record for wins. They're on pace to have the best record in the major leagues, and win the AL East. It'll be the first time the Red Sox Yankees have won that division in, I think, 10 or 11 years since the Orioles won it. But yeah, that's huge in the American League East to see that the Yankees are in third and probably not going to make or definitely not going to make the playoffs, and that the Rays are going to win that division. But don't count the Red Sox out. They've gained a couple games the last few weeks, and still some baseball left to play. They can catch up, but I just think with the youth that the Rays have and the Red Sox not having Tim Wakefield full strength and Josh Beckett full strength, and trading away Manny Ramirez, which I know he won it out, but it was still stupid. They should have kept him around to at least win another World Series. But I think the standings you see in that division right now are going to stay there. The Central, I think the White Sox got it locked up. The Twins made a run, but I think they just don't have enough power and pitching to make that happen. In the West, come on, that division's been done since the season started. The A's, they trade away all their good talent, so the Angels have pretty much locked up that division. So it appears to be the Rays, White Sox, Angels, Red Sox. I don't remember how they seed the playoffs, but out of those four, I think the Rays are a miracle that they've made it and will win the division, but I just don't think they have the experience to beat any of those three other teams, so I'd go with the Red Sox and Angels again in the ALCS. If the Red Sox get their pitching staff back to where it was last year, and Big Papi stays clutch, I think the Red Sox can make it to their third World Series in 5 years, or 6, whatever. Yeah, Red Sox fan, I don't remember how many they've been to lately. I know how many they've won. 2, Yankees, 0. Anyway, now to the National League. Braves have started to fall apart. They're not even going to finish with a winning record. It's a shame that division's fallen away from the Braves after so many straight division titles. But the Mets made a choke job last year, but I think they made a smart move and Jerry Manuel the job. He's 40-25 since taking over. So they've fallen a little bit behind, but I think in the end with Johan Santana and Pedro Martinez, that they've got the pitching to beat the Phillies bats and they'll win that division. The Marlins just not enough talent in pitching. They've got the power. Lord knows they've got the power, but not enough talent overall in pitching to catch the Mets or Phillies. So I think the Mets will win that division. Central, the Cubs, probably going to be the only 100-win team in the majors, something they haven't done in over 70 years. But yeah, to win that division, I think the Brewers, with their pitching and their young sluggers like Braun and Hardy and Fielder, I think they're going to hold off the Cardinals to win the wild card. Which is a shame because the Cardinals have really held in there all year long. They've been the 3 team in that division all year. As for the West, I think the Diamondbacks with Randy Johnson, Brandon Webb, I think that's just too much pitching for the Dodgers' sorry offense to handle. So I think they'll hold off that division. I don't see the Rockies making a run like they did last year. So that'd mean it will be the Mets, Cubs, Diamondbacks, and Brewers. Now again, I don't remember the seedings. I think it's the best record versus the wild card, and then 2 and 3 records. It's a toss-up. The Cubs have the best record, the best offense. So they should be a lot to win, but we all know the curse of the Cubs and, the past history of Bartman and all that. But I think this year's the year. I think their bats and their pitching are good enough to beat all those 3 other teams. I think the surprise could be the Diamondbacks with Johnson and Webb pitching. I think they could possibly pull an upset if they play the Cubs. They don't have a chance. If they play the Mets or the Brewers, they have a good shot at pulling off an upset. Which leads us to the World Series. Two of the most historic franchises. Two of the franchises that have had the longest World Series drought until the Red Sox have won recently a couple times. Red Sox Cubs 2008 World Series. I want to be biased as a Red Sox fan and say they should sweep it and win their second straight. It's not going to be that easy. The Cubs have, I think, overall about an equal lineup to the Red Sox. They've definitely got a good enough offense. Pitching, I say, is about equal. Zambrano against Beckett would be a good headliner probably for Game 1 of that series, in which I think Beckett has the experience and the clutch playoff experience to pull it out. The Cubs will have home field. Well, no, they changed that. The All-Star winner has home field advantage, so the Red Sox will have home field advantage even though the Cubs have the better record. And the Wrigley fans, if the Cubs make it to the World Series, are going to be hard to deal with, but I think the Red Sox have the bats to beat out the Cubs. So I'll say the Red Sox win their second straight World Series, beating the Cubs in at least 6, possibly 7 games. And I want to go with surprise here for the MVP award. If he's back in the lineup, J.D. Drew is clutch. He will get enough base hits and score enough runs for the Red Sox to pull this out and win their second straight World Series. Again, this is all just my opinion, and I'm not doing it biased because I know as I said, I'm a Red Sox fan, but I just think the experience, the talent, even without Manny Ramirez, they got a great replacement in Jason Bay, who could be a 30-homer, 100 RBI threat every year for the next 15 years, when Manny really only has maybe 2 or 3 productive years left. So with that said, my prediction: the Boston Red Sox defeat the Chicago Cubs 4-3 and win the 2008 World Series. J.D. Drew at least 3 home runs in the World Series and wins the MVP honors. And that's about it. I just felt like telling everybody about that. I'd like to hear your opinion, so if you watch this video, leave a comment, tell me what you think would go down to the playoffs, and if you agree with me, or if you think another team will win the World Series. But again, before I close this out, I want to say, even if they get swept in the first round of the playoffs, the Tampa Bay Rays, they're on pace for the best record in the American League at least, maybe the best record in the majors if the Cubs choke a little bit. A team that had previously only won 70 games once, that really has no big-name player. And to be doing what they're doing with the Red Sox, Yankees, and even the Blue Jays in that division, it's just phenomenal. I will throw this out there, my one last opinion, because this is really sort of, I've been pondering this for a while. There's no clear-cut favorite in either league to win the MVP award. Cy Young, I think, is pretty much easy. In the National League, I'd give it to Brandon Webb. In the American League, I can't remember his name, but the guy from the Phillies. The Angels, sorry. But as far as MVP, there's no guy out there with 40, 50 homers, 130 RBI like A-Rod last year, so here's my wild choices for MVP. In the American League, because of his defense and his skills that he possesses at second base overall, and the way he's produced runs and scored for the Red Sox this year, second baseman Dustin Pedroia. I think he's a good choice for American League MVP if the Red Sox make the playoffs and win the series. The National League, I want to throw this out there, even though I really don't think it'll happen, and that would be Alfonso Soriano of the Cubs. The speed, the outfield skills, the hitting, even though he's missed a lot of time this year, he has been a thrill to watch and has really produced for the Cubs. So, Pedroia and Soriano, Red Sox Cubs World Series, Red Sox win. So, watch this. Let's see what happens. Let me hear your opinions. Thanks for listening. Peace.